fellow deep thinkers. Welcome to Deeper Meaning Time. I've got a quick little discussion I wanted to bring up real quick. This is just going to be a quick little podcast. Just a thinker, I guess is what I'm going to call it. A thinker episode. They'll be short and sweet and to the point. And so for this thinker episode, I'm talking about predeterminism. Something that is a sort of a theory among philosophers and people that consider that maybe life is predetermined. Even religious people have similar thinkings, such as the fact that your life is in God's hands, and He's in full control, and you can kind of just ride the wheel of life. But so what I like to consider when I'm like sitting down, kind of thinking about how this could be possible. I do actually a lot when I'm driving, because it's such a mundane thing that we all do that it seems almost, I don't know, pre-recorded. And it's as if that I am just looking out of my eyes, considering everything that is that's going on, but not really paying attention to my body and how it's performing and what it's doing. And I find myself doing this a lot, especially like while I'm working. That's something that I always am realizing that it's, and with my job, it's very hands-on, and I'm always using tools of different kinds, and it's almost as if I am not in control. Like my vessel has its own pre-recorded decisions and everything. It just already knows everything it's going to do. I mean, from hand movements to the way I pick up things. I mean, all kinds of different things I think about, and I'm like, was that already predetermined somehow? Is my conscious mind just watching these things unfold in front of me? Like, is it all already predetermined, and all my vessel is doing is just following suit? And did the Big Bang perhaps happen, and then in a moment's notice of it exploding into existence, maybe it retracted into non-existence, and it happened so fast that we as humans don't understand, and we can't see that it's already happened. We don't know that it's already happened. And so what we are watching play out is this whole moment in time that may turn out perhaps to be very short in the grand scheme of things, such as that it's already happened. It existed, and then it doesn't exist anymore. So, but it's like a movie. It's like the movie was made and then smashed. And so, but you were in the process of watching it. And so because it was smashed, you'll never get to see the end, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of just going down my own rabbit hole in my mind here with this. But again, this all kind of takes away from the last thing I talked about in the other episode, which was the now. Now not being in existence, that the future is now. And that because there is no now, perhaps it is predetermined. Because I cannot physically be and control myself in one moment in time, and the future is constantly ahead of us, and we are constantly moving into it. So maybe I really don't have control. Maybe everything plays out for a reason, or maybe everything is like a movie, and it's all just happening the way it's supposed to happen, and through our eyes and with our consciousness and with our minds, we are able to just perceive it all in front of us, and perhaps speak. Maybe speech is one of the only things that isn't predetermined. I don't know, because then again, maybe the whole reason I'm doing this podcast is for a grand reason, and a reason that I don't even know, that I can't foresee myself. I mean, perhaps let's go back to that. Maybe existence happened in an instant, and so everything came into existence. But we are on a microscopic level, as opposed to the rest of the universe. And the universe probably doesn't care about us. So as it stretches in time, and I really favor the idea of the Big Crunch, where as our universe came into existence with a Big Bang, it's going to basically funnel down to a big crunching moment, as the process perhaps reverses and just restarts, and then there's another Big Bang, and it happens again, a big crunch. Or the idea of the Big Rip is actually really interesting, and these ideas are, if you haven't heard of them, look into them. They're really cool. The Big Bang is not just the only thing nowadays that people believe happens. They believe there's more involved. But so with the Big Bang, when it all came in, we grew out of microorganisms into what we are now, all on this extremely small scale. And we have, from science, realized that things that are millions of light years away from us are in complete different positions now, because they are millions of light years away from us. And by the time the light gets to us, it's changed total direction, course, and everything. So, to the universe, we are like already here. Everywhere else is seeing the light all around us, but we're constantly moving forward. It's a much deeper thought than one I can really explain. I'll need some more time to ponder it. But that's why I did this little brief podcast episode, because to get a discussion out of it, perhaps more people will kind of understand what I'm saying, and will comment, and kind of be able to put the pieces together, so that we can maybe understand whether or not life is predetermined. But to me, it's open to interpretation. And then the even more interesting thing to think about is how, when you think back and you think about your memories, and especially from the day, when I consider all the things that I had done, and it's just intriguing, because if I wasn't really in control, those are just all these things that played out. And I can, in my memories, definitely see it and watch it as if it was a movie. And that, to me, just kind of is a big main example of how predeterminism is possible, just for the sheer fact that I can look back and be like, wow, that was a lot of things. I've done a lot of things, and it's all happened, and it's constantly happening, and then I can only think about it as I move forward. And I don't know, it just kind of, all the things kind of sound and relate and piece together, and it all kind of seems like predeterminism could definitely be a thing. It requires more thought, and it requires more discussion. That is definitely, that's the whole point. So everything is about the discussion and creating a discussion out of it, and there being more involved in what we can think about and what we can dream about and realize and understand. There's so much more. So much more. So the plan, guys, is this, you listen, we discuss, and we come to a better understanding. Everything is open to interpretation. You can't firmly put a belief on something. You can't, because we don't really know. I don't know if life is predetermined. It's an interesting thought, and perhaps others can persuade me wrong. But the point of deeper meaning discussions are for both sides to sort of think, not for there to be an answer, but for there to be more reason and logic behind the questions. There doesn't have to be a reason. But if I'm considering predeterminism as the way of life, something we can't control, then maybe you could consider it too. Perhaps you have examples of why life wouldn't be predetermined. I don't have a lot, but if you have some, let me know. Because if I can come to a better understanding of maybe it is or it isn't, then we can move forward and we can all kind of help each other. That's part of having a discussion. So if you have, but the thing is that there has to be the equal amount of shared knowledge. Basically, you can't just have your opinion. I can't just have my opinion. In a discussion, I will say something, and a response would be good if it was stated like, oh yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. That does sound like a major possibility. It's both parties being able, and if you can't do that, if you can't see another side, then we're already going to struggle. And I know that, and this is the whole reason for this podcast, is for me personally, because I'm not good at that. It's for me to be able to be better at listening to other point of views and other opinions so that I can put more pieces of my own puzzle together. Because to me, that's what Deeper Meaning Time is all about. It's about exploring the endless thoughts and curiosities we all have every day and discovering all the deeper meanings time has to offer. Guys, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you later.